congratulations to you all. You did the arduous work of relaxing, I hope, after the weekend and after the holiday, right? Thanksgiving was last week, a chance for us to come together, hopefully virtually. Hopefully not too many of you actually got out there and traveled, you psychopaths out there. But a lot of us, took the last couple of days to recharge some of our own emotional batteries. My dog, who was shaking herself off over here, would very much so agree that this long weekend was very, very needed. So I'm super stoked to be back with you. My name's Cameron George, National Ambassador for the Whiskeys of Ardbeg. Kira, knock it off, homie. What you doing over there? My girl is like rolling herself around on the carpet. Knows no bounds, I swear. Right. So let's get through this introduction, and then you can make all the noise you want, my homie. This is your house too. Right, so I'm Cameron George, National Ambassador for the Whiskeys of Ardbeg. Back at it with another episode of Whiskey Through Food, everybody's favorite whiskey show, coming to you live on Facebook and live on YouTube as well. Make sure you go and you smash that subscribe button. Subscribe to my damn YouTube channel. It's awesome. You know it's the best. We have the funnest conversations. We learn the most. We talk about whiskey. We make some badass snacks. And we make some really, really cool cocktails. So let's go ahead and see who's online already and see what we are working with today. Fantastic. Awesome. Thank you all for joining. Awesome. Got a bunch of really rad people on already. So slanjava and salute to all of you. Today, we're going to be learning about what the F, WTF, to do with all these Thanksgiving leftovers. I could have done this episode on Friday, but I wanted to give us just a little bit of a chance to celebrate what was National Cake Day on Thursday as well. So we had a bunch of competing interests, and I thought, you know what? We all have refrigerators, or we should. And so these leftovers, they'll be good until Monday's episode, and they'll be good after that for a little while as well. So the cocktail and the food pairing that we're doing today are all Thanksgiving leftover themes, right? And they're going to tie into the whiskey in a pretty cool way. So the whiskey of choice today is going to be Ardbeg Uigeadail. Say it with me now. Uigeadail, or Oogie for short. In the core range of Ardbeg, from Ardbeg Wee Beastie, Ardbeg 10 Year, Anno, Uigeadail, and Corrie of Brecon, this one has a very, very special place in my heart. I absolutely love this whiskey. It's not quite a cask strength whiskey, but at 54.2% alcohol by volume, this whiskey is an absolute pleasure to be able to enjoy. I almost said fantastic, but I didn't, right? That's a running joke right now. You got to go back a few episodes to see when Dilpreet, who is leaving my home of Seattle, actually called me out for using that word a little bit too much. So we're going to try to stay away from it as best we can. Right, so whiskey of choice is going to be Ardbeg Uigeadail. Let's go ahead and grab ourselves a delicious glass. I'm going to use a glass from my friends at Whiskey Wednesday. This is an Irish tasting glass. I know, blasphemy, putting the most world-renowned single malt Scotch whiskey into an Irish whiskey glass. What is he doing? But it's my show. It's my whiskey. It's your whiskey. Drink it the way that you want. Don't let anybody tell you otherwise, right? If you have a glass that you love, absolutely use it. So, coloration of Ardbeg Uigeadail, one of my favorite whiskeys to actually pour and look at in its glass. Not only do I enjoy staring at it, I can do this for hours, but I also enjoy bringing it up to my olfactory system, smelling it, engaging with that whiskey, first whiff of it. Absolutely beautiful. There's a weight. There's a wonderful round robustness or rotundness to this whiskey. It smells fatty. And that's going to pair really well to the snack that I've made today, which of course is going to be, drum roll please, somebody give me a drum roll out there. What's up, Julian? Good to see you, my man. Steve Groom, good to see you as well. Today's food pairing is one that I actually learned in high school. This is a favorite snack of mine around this time of year. Maybe you can kind of take a look at this here. So I've made a little slider, right? So this slider actually has a little bit of leftover turkey meat. Shout out Mom, the turkey was absolutely fantastic. She brined it for over 48 hours, really wonderful structure to it. It almost falls apart in your mouth. You know, one of the things hot take here, turkey is usually the worst thing on Thanksgiving dinner table. And I didn't say that my mom's turkey is bad, because if she watched this episode and thought that, then this would be our last episode, because she would murder me. But no, my mom is an incredible cook. But turkey just as a meat generally is like kind of dry. So, it's not always my favorite thing on Thanksgiving. But what we've done is we brined this turkey for a little over 48 hours, so it's got this wonderful moistness. Ooh, that's a weird word, but it's moist, sensual, right? Sensual turkey. So we've got this beautiful, beautiful kind of moistness that's going to transfer through all the way into our dish. Then we also, on the bottom of the slider here, we used a weird ingredient, cream cheese. Shout out to my high school ex-girlfriend, Kaylee Troutman. Eat your heart out, lady. Oh, I'm so petty. So we use a little bit of cream cheese, and there's going to be a really fun interaction and engagement between the texture and the lipidness, or the lipid aspect, lipidness, I don't know if that's a word, maybe it is, the lipid aspect of the cream cheese as it kind of juxtaposes against the whiskey. Ardbeg Uigeadail has a lot of these free fatty acids that are kind of running amok in it. 54.2% alcohol by volume tells us that it's non-chill filtered. Obviously, because it's an Ardbeg, we don't chill filter any of our whiskeys. But that means that, at that proof, there's going to be a lot of organics that are going to be, that your palate can actually perceive. Again, not only the taste, not only the smell, but also the way that it feels when you're drinking it as well, right? Julian, my man, thank you for that drum roll, my guy. And then lastly, of course, we had to have some homemade cranberry sauce that goes on top. Cranberry sauce, another huge debate around the holidays. Do you buy store-bought? Do you make homemade cranberry sauce? Both my mom and dad have really awesome and incredible and fantastic recipes for cranberry sauce. I actually prefer my mother's. She uses a little bit more cinnamon, and she also uses just a pinch of salt, usually Maldon sea salt, as well as grating a little bit of orange. So that orange, that citrus, kind of awakens some of the, some more of the citric elements in the cranberry sauce. What I really love about Ardbeg Uigeadail is that you see a lot of that citric kind of element that you see in Ardbeg Tin. But in Ardbeg Tin, you're seeing more green apple, lime skin, things that are indicative of ethyl butyrate, right? That is an ester that is very common in Scotch whiskey, ethyl butyrate, right? And as it starts to oxidize and age during maturation, for Ardbeg Uigeadail, because it has an element that's aged in sherry cask, it starts to round the corner away from lime skin and apple peel to now starting to get a little bit sweeter, a little bit richer, a little bit rounder, into like orange, Seville orange, dare I say, as well. So this is going to be a really fun food pairing. I've talked about it enough. Shut up, Cam. Put some food in your mouth, wash it down with some whiskey, make us a badass cocktail. That's what Whiskey Through Food is all about. So let's dive into it. We'll get into a little bit of the whiskey first, and then we'll dive into the food pairing. That nose is absolutely fantastic. I just dug my nose right down in there. Linseed, bogwort, myrtle, heather, nice vegetal aspects. Some really, really fun kind of almost like bacon, like some cooked bacon in front of a campfire. Those lipids, those fats. This is one of my favorite whiskeys. God, that is so damn good. Jesus. This is absolutely one of my favorites. I was messaging Sean Traxler about this whiskey a few weeks ago. Really incredible bartender, and this is one of his favorites as well. And we were just kind of talking about the complexities of it. So for all of you out behind the bar, if you don't carry Ardbeg Uigeadail, please make sure you go and grab it, right? All right, let's go ahead and dive into our food pairing now, because this is going to be absolutely fantastic. Julian's getting hangry over there. I'm sorry, buddy. I'm gonna make you a little bit more upset because I already had 2 of these today and they're badass. All right, let's do it. The creaminess that's coming from all of that delicious cream cheese that's spread on the bottom layer. It was a wonderful introduction to the dish. And then the bright citrus coming from the orange and the cranberry as well, which are also quite citrusy and kind of have a little bit of acidity, really makes the whole thing pop. This is a pretty explosive dish. It's something that's super easy to make. You can either toast them. I simply took Hawaiian sweet rolls and I just toasted them in the oven for about, in my toaster for, about 2 or 3 minutes, and then built the whole dish. I did microwave the turkey. Don't hate me, but like microwaves are a thing of convenience. This is 2020, almost 2021. You should have a great microwave at your disposal as well. All right, let's go ahead and try the whiskey off the back of this. that creaminess just won't leave. It won't quit. There's a richness to the whiskey, obviously. It's really amplified by this turkey. Let's go ahead and try some of this turkey just by itself. Great job, Mom. You're incredible. Just the best. And also, again, shout out Kaylee Troutman, ex-girlfriend from high school 14 years ago. I hope you're watching. Eat your heart out. All right. Let's talk about what cocktail we're going to make today. So today's cocktail, God, that's good. I got to take one more bite. All right. Be done until you're off camera. All right. So let's talk cocktails. So we've got a couple of really cool elements to already play on. We mentioned that ethyl butyrate. So we know that we're going to want to pull to the forefront some of that apple, pear, lime skin kind of element that's starting to round that corner to soft sweetness and orange. To do that, we're going to add a little bit of the cranberry sauce directly to the cocktail. We're also going to be working with, of course, a pear and apple cider. I just think it's incredibly important, around the holidays, to have apple ciders, non-alcoholic beverage options for people and children as they're hanging out, around the Christmas tree or at the kids' table on Thanksgiving. So I managed to steal one of these from my mom's house. Love you, Mom, again. So we're going to use a little bit of this. We're going to use some Ardbeg Uigeadail as well. It's a very simple highball style cocktail today. Everybody should be able to make this cocktail at home. I wanted to throw in a little bit of an easier cocktail today because it seems like a lot of you have been making these cocktails at home and have had to substitute some ingredients. So this is one that basically everybody should be able to make. All right, Dean, what's going on? And Ruby all the way out there in Chicago. Wesley, what's up? What's up, Wesley Chi? So let's go ahead and make this badass cocktail. I'll hold on to this, actually. That's what we'll do. Seasonally appropriate glassware, of course, always. So I'm going to go ahead and take about 2 or 3 large bar spoons. Again, that's not an exact measurement. Actually, we'll do 2. Use 2 large bar spoons. Not an exact measurement. Bar spoons always vary. And then what we're going to do is we're actually just going to take a little bit of this delicious Ardbeg Uigeadail. Another fantastic whiskey from the House of Ardbeg, the wonderful distillery. We're going to use 2 full ounces. Make sure you get all of it in there. Wring it out, wring it out, wring it out. There we go. All right. And then we're going to just go ahead and make sure that these things go into solution just a little bit. Just a little stir. Because we really want to make sure that that cranberry and that orange, that little bit of cinnamon that my mom uses in this recipe gets kind of all the way into the cocktail. Perfection. Next, we are going to, there we go. Next, we're going to add just a little bit of ice. And I'm going to go ahead and stir for dilution this time, right? What we were doing last time was getting incorporation. And now we need a little bit of dilution. Just a skosh, because again, remember, we are topping this cocktail with a little bit of a pear and apple cider. Let's go ahead and make sure that the sweetness is correct. That's delicious. Good Lord, that's tasty. You know what? We're going to make a last minute change here because I think cocktails at home, you should always be able to make adjustments on the fly. Who doesn't love a little bit of Angostura bitter? So we're just going to go ahead and 2 solid dashes of Ango down in there as well. Christmas spices, it's now that time of the year. So Christmas spices and winter spices are always welcome. Cinnamon, clove, all of those wonderful things. Now, we're going to take this badass, nice little bottle of apple cider. And there we go. Jesus, labels out, Cam, like you've done this before. Come on, man. And then we're just going to go ahead and pop this thing off. I thought about savoring it, but it's just not exactly cold enough. Pop, there we go. Kobe made it in the trash. There we go. Fantastic. And then we're just going to go ahead and top the cocktail. I said it. I said fantastic. Dave Flatman caught me in the comments there. Now we'll just go ahead and add a little bit of ice to top the cocktail to make it look presentable. Again, wash lines are incredibly important. You want to make sure that you're presenting beautiful cocktails. Hello, Maggie Campbell as well. The living legend, one of my favorite people in the world. And then we're just going to go ahead and a little bit of cranberry sauce right on the side. Garnish, right? That looks like a pretty tasty, really beautiful pink cocktail. Cocktails don't have sexes. Drink pink cocktails. It doesn't make you any less of a man. You're weak if you don't drink pink cocktails. Cheers, Slanjava. Let's see how we did. Pear, again, really fresh up front, super fragrant. Ardbeg Ugadal, the weight, the viscosity of this whiskey carries right through. That's absolutely beautiful. You would expect this drink to drink a lot cleaner and a lot leaner, but this absolutely has a wonderful mouthfeel and presence to it. That cranberry is absolutely brightening everything else up around it. Now I've got cranberry, I've got candied bacon, I've got dark chocolate. There's just a lot going on in this glass that I'm absolutely thrilled with. Just absolutely fantastic cocktail. Said it again. There's another one for you. That might be our tagline on this cocktail, on this show. Is it's fantastic. Just drink it. Whiskey through food, right? That's absolutely wonderful. Let's go ahead and see how we did with the food pairing. As always, I suspect that these two are going to go absolutely fantastic together. So, a little bit of the food here. Again, remember we made a nice little slider with some leftover turkey, a little bit of cream cheese to give us a kind of creamy element, and then a little bit of this cranberry sauce that is from my mom's recipe. You know, house-made cranberry sauce, absolutely beautiful. I think this is one of the first dishes that I had when I was around like 15, 16, when I started dating my ex-girlfriend. Why am I talking to you guys about my ex-girlfriend from high school today? You're getting to learn a lot about me. But this is one of the very first dishes that I had that really taught me about texture, right? And it's something that's super simple. About textures and also about being able to use citric elements or things with acidity to make darker, richer, and more kind of lipid flavors kind of pop, right? We carry this same exact idea through in cocktails when we use things like salt or when we use, you know, like acidulation in really small degrees to make weightier things kind of pop a little bit more. Even take like an orange zest over the top of an old fashioned, right? That citrus is just kind of brightening everything up. So this is one of the first dishes that I had that really kind of cemented that idea for me. And it's been something that I make basically every year. So again, Kaylee, wherever you are in the world with your two beautiful kids, cheers and thank you very much for teaching me so much. Right. So let's go ahead and try the cocktail now. Liliana, thank you. Thank you for joining us. There's a vegetal aspect still to it. There's a meaty, kind of dark, unctuous kind of smoke to it. It's a very, I love drinking Ardbeg Ugadal because it's ritualistic when I drink it. It's almost animalistic. I feel like I want to drink this whiskey while I'm hiking, when I'm in the outdoors. I could drink this whiskey anytime, but that's how it makes me feel when I have a dram or a glass of Ardbeg Ugadal. All right. Altogether, absolutely fantastic pairing. Said it again, 10 out of 10 on this episode for sure. Handily. Make sure that you tune in. Every episode is absolutely incredible. I have a blast getting to do these with you. If you have any food pairings that you want to throw my way, please make sure you send those to me in the DMs. You can find me on Instagram at ardbegcam. You can also find me on YouTube at ardbegcam. Subscribe to my damn YouTube channel. I'll say it again for the thousandth time. I won't stop saying it. But as always, I had an absolute blast getting to see you all out here today. It's always great to get to start the week off with friends. Cheers, Slanjava. Have an absolutely fantastic week. And until Friday, when I do my next episode of WTF, I'll see you later, right? Bye.